Hey my friends, hope you all are doing well, and welcome back to another speed build. So for this one, it's something a little bit different. It is a starter home for a vampire, and when I say starter home, actually probably more so when I say speed build, probably more of a speed destruction. So my idea for this was to have abandoned, derelict, rundown, half destroyed church, and it would have everything you would need for a vampire to live. Honestly, it could probably work as a starter home in general, because I did include like the stuff like humans need, like a refrigerator, microwave, and everything. But the idea in mind is you have the first floor, the top level is just basically a ruined building, nothing much to see there. But then downstairs, that's where you kind of have like the vampire's house. So you have like their coffin, you have a bathtub, you have a bookshelf. Honestly, not a whole lot as far as like actually living in the house goes, but I think it came together pretty nicely. So for this build, I only used vampires and I used life and death. Those packs to me seem to fit in really well together, but also life and death, I know they have like these really cool like ruined objects in live edit, which I thought would work out very well to kind of reflect like crumbling walls and lots of destruction, stuff like that. I did want to try to make this a limited pack build just because I know I can go crazy, but if I were to bring in any other packs, I maybe would have brought in Get Together and Eco Lifestyle. Get Together also has some of those like ruins, so you'd have a few more options there. And Eco Lifestyle just has a lot of good trash, like lots of good stuff I can throw around just to make this place look as crappy and rundown as possible. Werewolves could have also been a good option. They have a lot of like rubble, they have a lot of like rubble type stuff. And then honestly, Strangerville, they have like these really weird like puddle effects which make the floor look stained. I probably would have used that too, but we did life and death and we did vampires, and I think it came together pretty nicely. One thing I do realize I'm missing as I watching the speed build footage back is I forgot to include like a cemetery, which for an old church, like having like an old derelict cemetery probably wouldn't be a good idea. So when we go in to actually like take the tour and play test, I might add some stuff back in. But right now we're just kind of working on the first floor. You kind of see I have like those spandrels running along like the top of the second floor. I was envisioning kind of having beams where like the pieces of roof would rested upon when the building was, not falling apart, but now it's just kind of holding up the last few little bits again. I'm still not entirely sold on the way they look. I think they're a little thick for what I would have wanted. There are other spandrels and other packs that may have worked a little bit better, but this was really just base game because I don't think Life and Death or Vampires actually had their own. So those are new Happy Birthday spandrels and columns. I think it works. You'll see later I'll add some like vines and stuff coming off of them. I think it's fine. The roof pieces I want to call out. The one side you kind of see like it's a little more traditional roof, just like a few little pieces like here and there, like parts of it breaking apart. On the right side where you have the ruins, I put them at ground level. That's kind of meant to reflect like the roof just kind of collapsed, caved in. Within the life and death pack, there's a little effect. It looks like it's like broken floor beams that kind of looks down below. So I put those on the roof, and it kind of gives the effect that that whole thing is kind of falling apart. One thing I do want to call out is this is a starter home. So this is under 20 grand. Technically, I think it's under 19 grand. So I think I built this on, the lot I built this on in Forgotten Hollow was only worth like 1,000. So it is a starter home. Thankfully, all of like the ruins and stuff are actually most of it's free because a lot of it is live edit stuff. So it was really easy just to kind of fill this out with lots of destruction. Honestly, if I could, I ended up cutting a lot of it out of the footage because there's a lot of it just me just like kind of throwing stuff everywhere, whether it's broken boards or old plant growth, anything like that. One of the things I am most pleased with was how like the center like church, where they call it, the little like church tower worked out. Originally I was going to have that be like the main entrance so you could still walk through, but I kind of had the idea of having like a church bell kind of like fell through the floor and just like crashed and ended up blocking out that path. We don't really have a church bell in any of the packs or base games, so I ended up using like a water bucket. I used the tool mod to flip it around and kind of land on the side and just put a bunch of rubble underneath of it. In order to get into the building, I was originally going to have like two like half baths at the front, because if it was traditional church, you'd probably have like half bathrooms there. I ended up taking down the walls of one of them so you can kind of sneak in that way, and I think it fits the vibe pretty nicely. You also see that there are two spots where stairwells should be going down to the basement where like the vampire lives. I only wanted one of them to be usable. The other one I just made a hole and I just filled it with as much crap to make it look like the staircases collapsed. Like I said, overall this is probably one of my favorite builds. I don't know why. I really like destroying things in games like this. Back when I was streaming, I had like the idea of kind of like creating like a post-apocalyptic like Willow Creek. So I ended up creating like a few like broken down or torn down buildings. I never actually followed through with that. I may consider revisiting that though, because just like the destroying stuff, just like using the live edit objects, especially just like filling out like clutter, like messy clutter, I think just works out nicely. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it for me to discuss. There is still a little bit more on the speed build, so I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of this, and then I will see you in a bit for the lap tour. So bye y'all. right, and welcome back. We have our vampire sim Dorian here, and this is our ruined church / vampire starter. So you see the top floor, we basically just have like the ruins of the building. I did try to line it up with like the pieces of rubble so that it would look kind of even-ish. So this is like 5 tiles wide. I try to set this up so it looks like it's 5 tiles wide. It's not gonna be exact, but I think it works out pretty well. We have a lot of overgrowth, lots of trees growing through. I would imagine this is something that's probably been abandoned for decades. But yeah, so going in, so we actually go in through what was a restroom. We do have a second restroom up here. Like I said, in the speed build, I originally envisioned just having like 2 just for whatever, but then once I decided to use the collapsed church bell thing, I broke this down, had a few pipes to make it look like it was a restroom, but yeah, we have a restroom. If you do want to have like a human sim here, I did at least want to have like a bed, a fridge, and a microwave, but basically just a lot of ruins. Oh, I am not sure what happened there, but apparently part of my floor disappeared. Yeah, let's see if we can fix that. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, I'm glad I checked. Okay, so that's been resolved. So we have our floor. We have like a few little like statues over here, one of which is kind of tipped over. Everything's kind of overgrown. These are like the collapsed roof pieces. And then this is what would have been the second stairwell going down. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for up here. I did mention that I wanted to add like a little cemetery, so let's go ahead and try to do that real quick. I'm gonna try and see if I can do this all with live edit stuff, just so, because we're right at the tail end of the budget. Yeah, so let's do, I don't know, put some overgrowth, maybe a little bit more overgrowth rather, maybe over here. I do want to make sure, because now I brought all the packs into the game. I still want to make sure I'm just using life and death and werewolves. So size some of this stuff down. Boom. And I am pretty sure that there are gravestones, if not life and death or vampires at least. There we go. I think like these things will work. I said not an actual cemetery, but just looks like remnants of one that was kind of like hidden, tucked away back here. And these are all debugged, so this is all free, which is helpful. So yeah, I think that kind of I think that kind of works out. So let's go downstairs. So you would come in through, this was a bathroom. You would go down this stairwell, and then you have basically your little vampire's living space, which doesn't have much. It does have a tub, because I think vampires still need to bathe. I put a dresser and a bookshelf down here. This side's pretty much inaccessible just with all the clutter. I could have filled this out a lot more. I didn't want to put too much, because if you are living here, if you want to build this out, I still want to give you the space for that. But at the very least, you do have the coffin, and yeah, just a bunch of other like random crap laying around. I did play test everything ahead of time, and everything is accessible, but there isn't much here to actually do. It is very much a starter home in that it's kind of bare bones, even though it looks like it's filled with stuff. But as far as usable stuff, it's not much. So this was built on a 30 by 30. This was built on the, I think this was a blank slot in Forgotten Hollow, but I think the build itself is compact enough you could probably put it anywhere. You just might lose some stuff on the sides. I did just build this with vampires and life and death, so I would recommend having those 2 packs. If you have werewolves or eco lifestyle, you want to add some more clutter, kind of, you know, zhuzh up a little bit. That's good that you can do that. But yeah, let's go ahead and put this up on the gallery. So we have vampire starter, came to 17,822. And I'm going to call it Starter Home for a Vampire built on the ruins of an old church. Hashtag DorianKoholi. Technically, I guess we have 2 bedrooms and I'll say 1 bathroom. But yeah, cool. And like I said, just life and death, just vampires. I'm trying to find a balance between like packs where I just go all out and then limited pack stuff, because I do like I like building, but I like the idea of you guys being able to download it and use it. So I understand that using like 50 billion packs isn't always practical. Sometimes if the inspiration hits me, I'm not going to worry about that as much, but I'm going to try to find a little bit of a balance. With all that said, you guys might not even care, so let me know in the comments if you like limited pack stuff, if you prefer just going all out, and yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching another speed build. If you like this, please consider dropping a like on the video. Please consider leaving a comment if you had a favorite part, or if you have another build that you'd like me to tackle next. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I am trying to grow the channel. You guys have been immense support for that so far, so thank you. But with all that, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will catch you later. Bye everybody.